So one thing that gets really hard about being a black person in America is like constantly finding out that people just hate you and you don't know why. Like you're never really given a reason. You're just like, hey, this person hates black people. Recently, Hulk Hogan died. And I'm like, oh, well, that sucks. And then, of course, all this stuff comes out about how racist he was. It's like, oh, okay. I remember Dr. Seuss died. And I was like, oh, that sucks. I was a huge Dr. Seuss fan. Dr. Seuss truly, truly inspired me. And then I found out he died, and that really sucked. And this one actually hurt my feelings, but Dr. Seuss was extremely racist. And then you watch Taken, and I like Liam Neeson, and then you see a video of him saying some really racist stuff. You know, then a Republican president gets elected, and you're like, hey, this Republican president is actually really, really racist. And I'm like, oh, well, that sucks. Well, I hope we get a Democratic president. And then we get a Democratic president, and they're like, oh, well, this guy's also really, really racist. And then, like, growing up as a black person, you live your life wondering, like, why do y'all hate us so much? Like, what did we do? Like, what is it about black people as a whole that you just hate? Like, I don't get it. Like, off the top of my head, I could name 100 different racist things that white people have done to me specifically and to my family. And I don't hate white people. I was involved with this white girl when I was in college and things were great. And then she started crying and telling me that we had to end this thing because if her stepfather found out that she was involved with a black dude, that he would disown her. Like, his hate for black people was so strong that he would disown his own daughter just for dating one. And I don't have the capacity to hate white people. I don't have the capacity to hate anybody. But growing up black is just a lifelong journey of finding out that everything is racist and that everybody just hates black people and you just can't figure out why.
Me and my cousin walking around knocking doors, right? And out of all of the houses we go to, all the neighbors are receiving us pretty well. We had one older guy, no, I don't want none you're selling. Yeah, of course. But it was this one guy in specific, and he was a police officer. And I was very surprised by his response. We knocked on his door. He opened the door. Don't you see the signs that say no soliciting? I'm like, what? Hold up. Yeah, but I'm like, no, we're not trying to solicit anything. We're just out in the neighborhood talking to people. Well, you see the signs? They say no soliciting, right? And I'm just thinking, like, we out here doing the right thing. Instead of out here robbing, killing, stealing, selling drugs, we are knocking on doors trying to do car washes. Young black dude too, right? But what came to my mind is, sir, and I didn't say this, but I wish I did. But if I was a white man with a white son, would you have had the same reaction? Or was it because you seen two black kids come to your door trying to better themselves that you had a problem with it, almost like against your own race? And bro was black. Like, come on, bro. We out here trying to do better. And you a police officer? Ain't you here to protect and serve? But you gonna open the door like that? Like, come on, bro. Clowned out. It's crazy.
No matter your age, when you're black in America, you don't get to be fully American. That freedom we're so fond of talking about as a nation comes with an asterisk when you're black. We're viewed with suspicion. We're never given the benefit of the doubt. Our actions are never presumed innocent. And with that comes a lot of stress. There are moments that sneak up on you, say sitting in a Starbucks while black, or birding in Central Park while black, or shopping for underwear while black, or Airbnb-ing while black. Then there are those moments when action is needed, but if you've read my writing over the years, you know I never leave home without my driver's license, insurance card, and business card with my husband's cell phone number on it, because you just never know. I'm one vigilante, avowed racist or homophobe away from calamity. And if I got into an accident on a country road, I'd think long and hard about whether to go to the nearby house for help. Could I be putting myself in more danger by doing so? I can't afford not to think this way. That's what being black in America means. Constantly weighing the pros and cons of countless situations and interactions and hoping you get from point A to point B with as much of your dignity intact, if not your life.
Hi family, how you all doing? Welcome back again to my channel. My name is Olivia in case you're just seeing my face for the first time. I hope you guys are doing very good. So, family, I listened to, some Americans who shared how their struggles, being black in America, and it's so annoying because black people are people who actually built America, right? So facing this kind of backlash, disrespect from other folks is so annoying. I think because the black people are the ones who built America, they deserve all the respect. Okay, instead of this embarrassment and disrespect and harassment, right? Um, I know people love black culture, people love the unity, people love a lot of things about black people, but still, you guys don't respect the black people in general. Okay, so people mention how tiring it gets having to work twice as hard for the same respect, or seeing your community, constantly blamed for what they did not do, right? Instead of support. So I want to watch this video together, of course, and hear what a lot of black folks have to share with us on how their struggle being black in America. Okay, and let me know what you think, okay, about this video, of course, and don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comment section. Okay, so let's watch together.
Being black in America means that your life is always up for debate. It means that they can kill you and convince the world that you did it to yourself. Because let's be real, being black in America means getting treated like a criminal when you're the victim. It means you could be begging for medical attention in a jail cell, and they'll still watch you die and then write natural causes on the report. It means they can hang you from a tree with a fractured skull and bruises all over your body, and the police will still say suicide. Let's stop acting like the system is broken. It's not broken. It's functioning exactly how it's supposed to dehumanize us, to criminalize us, to erase us, and then gaslight the world into thinking it was our fault. And y'all still think we free? We're living in a country that could watch us die and still find a way to justify it. Because being black in America means you don't get the benefit of the doubt. You get suspicion. You get blame. You get silence.
It's so exhausting being black in America. Being black itself is beautiful, 10 out of 10. But being black in America, shit is like a sport with no ribbons, no trophies. Cause this intelligent person said he was a Democrat anyways. In response to the Tyler Robinson video I posted yesterday, in which the very, very blatant point of the video was, even though Tyler Robinson was a white man, they still sent bomb threats to HBCUs. Not Utah University, where Tyler Robinson is from and attended. A white man shot someone and killed someone, and they sent bomb threats to black college universities. And your only takeaway is that the white man was Democrat. It's exhausting. And I truly don't know what's worse. Having white people or people that aren't black clearly and conveniently miss the point, or having to explain a common sense human being morality point to another human being time and time and time again. But what do you think?
In the last couple of days, I've listened to so many podcasts, so many shows, so many rhetoric, so many news situations, news articles, news clippings about everything that's been going on the last week. And I really just do not understand what is the issue. How are people mad that we're calling out stuff that was said? Not stuff we made up, not stuff that was, that was misinterpreted. No, this person really looked in a camera and said, I don't want to get in a plane if a black man was piloting it. Not because he didn't have the qualifications, not because he didn't go to piloting school. I don't know where you go. Not because he didn't go to school to get his license. None of that. Just because they have my skin color. And to hear about, civil rights was a mistake, affirmative action was a mistake. Well, this is things that were said out of his mouth, which is the R word all day, every day, 20 times a day, night and day, and once on the day of leap year. And look, it didn't matter what time it's all wrong. And to sit here as a black man and to sit here and to see people argue people down, especially black women, that, oh, well, you can't call him the R word. Why are y'all doing it? What the hell is wrong with y'all? If somebody goes to the store and takes a piece of candy, we're going to call him a thief. You're not going to say, well, why would you call him a thief? He stole something. So if somebody walks up to you and say some very disgusting and racist stuff, guess what we going to call you? They just took down a mural in one of these state parks because they want to get rid of all of the stuff saying that they were bad people. This is not how this shit works. And I'm trying not to get upset, but it's bothering me. As a black man, it is bothering me. How do you get to just say I'm not a bad person anymore just because it hurt my feelings and I don't like the fact that you guys call us the art thing? Because you are. Y'all are. You are terrible human beings. You have literally spent the last 500, 600 years going from country to country, state to state, providence to providence, either taking people that wasn't yours, taking property that wasn't yours, stealing ideals, creating disease and famine every goddamn where you go. It is literally factual. This is not an opinion. This is not me making up stuff. It's facts. The bubonic plague came from you guys. The Black Death came from you guys. Look, everywhere you go, when you touch something in the country, when y'all go to these countries, you come out of them, they are destroyed. Y'all bring ideology and everything. Y'all do so much wrong. And then when somebody says something, it's like, oh, I can't believe you guys are calling us the R word. I can't believe you guys are saying we're misogynistic and all of that. You are. You literally are. There's evidence everywhere to say that you are. And how do you just whitewash our history and just say, well, that makes us look bad? We are divided because you guys are bringing up slavery and you guys are bringing up things that we do and did and that we don't like how that makes us feel. How do you think we feel? How do you think I feel? How do you think my wife and kids feel? We're the ones that are the victims of this. How do you think we feel? That we know that this is how people feel about us when we get on the plane. That we know that this is how people feel when we fill out an application. Oh, you just got the job for affirmative action. Well, let's get rid of all this stuff so you can't get the jobs no more. What is wrong with y'all? We haven't even did nothing to you. I don't get it anymore. We're literally sitting at home with our boots on the ground, asking where the fans at, watching TV, taking a bath, all that type of stuff. We keep it clean and drinking our water. We not bothering a soul. And yet we keep coming up in this whole situation. Every time something happens, somehow black people are involved. We didn't do nothing. We didn't do nothing then. And we ain't doing nothing now. We're just speaking up for ourselves. We deserve to have the same rights as everybody because we're human beings. And I sit here today just tired because every time I open up the internet now or turn on the news, it's another thing about, man, there's a kid that lost his life and y'all are saying no foul play. With broken limbs, with broken body parts, no foul play. So he just climbed up the tree and got some rope and did it himself. Are you guys, what are you... Being black in America is ridiculous, and it is unreal at this point. And I'm sick of it because we really haven't did nothing to y'all. We really haven't.
Hey y'all, hey, so I'm coming on back home from my walk, and I'm walking, and I'm on the right side of the street, right side of the sidewalk, walking, and there's a couple that comes toward me. I believe him and his wife and their dog, and they're taking up the whole sidewalk. Child, why do they think I was gonna get off the sidewalk so their dog can have a place to walk? Absolutely not. So as they proceed to get closer, I look at them, they look at me. Now, normally, if it's three people or three things or two people and one thing on the sidewalk, you move over. I'm not moving over, and I sure as hell ain't getting off the sidewalk. Child, why she stop and look at me as if you need to move over because my dog is coming? Baby, the look of death And the sound from my mouth, I'm not moving for your damn dog. She had to jank that shit off the sidewalk. The nerve, y'all, and the caucasity. I can't. I can't. Let me be real clear. I ain't never getting off the sidewalk for no dog. And they better be clear I didn't push their ass off the sidewalk. Because I ain't moving off the sidewalk for their ass either. It's getting worse and worse. But let me tell you who is not playing the games. This one right here. Oh, Lord. Y'all have a good day.
Why does it feel like there is a full court press to get Black people's attention right now? It's coming from all sides. Everywhere I look, it feels like there are people who are trying to get their revolutions off the ground, and they keep coming to Black people to get us involved. But then when we remind them that this is not our time, we have a long history of protesting, fighting for civil rights for all people. We've been doing this for generations, and we collectively agree that this is not our time to be at the forefront. Yet nobody respects that. Nobody wants to honor that. Nobody understands where we're coming from. Maybe not nobody, because I do see a lot of people who echo our sentiments and understand why we are saying what we are saying. But the ones who don't are mighty loud, and they're mighty arrogant, if you ask me. People quoting saying that you can't fight for freedom from the comfort of your couch. People saying, oh, you guys are going to understand when it comes to you. People saying, hey, we know that you guys feel how you feel, but can you just put it aside for this one time? Can you let go of that sentiment for this one time and come back out here? Or people just getting angry, right? Just getting full blown angry and just, again, laying the problems of society at our feet. I don't know how else to get this message across to anybody who does not understand where the Black community is coming from right now during this administration. This is not normal. We know that. And we understand that they have a playbook specifically designed for us if we get out there and start protesting. The things that these people are doing right now is exactly what they wanted to do in 2020. I believe if he had the power to do what he wanted to do in 2020, he would have also had the sentiment of the people behind him. Because when Black people step out to speak up, it is very easy to twist the narrative and make us the bad guy. Historically speaking, in this country, it has been very easy to do that. So once again, us resting right now, us not being out there right now, is bigger than just not wanting to be a part of the fight. It's more significant than just trying to win this revolution from the comfort of our couch. This is how we protect everybody during a time like this. Because if they were able to use us the way they want to use us right now, it would accelerate our descent into fascism. It would expedite all of this military stuff. It would expedite any and every attempt that this administration would make to send troops to whatever city they wanted to send. But because we are not taking that bait, you guys are safe. So when you come around getting upset at us for not being active in what's going on, when you come around trying to lecture us about how we need to be involved in what's going on, you are not paying attention to what's going on around everybody. And maybe if you stepped back and listened to us for once, you would see that the strategy has changed for a very specific reason.
I don't want to see a single leftist, black, Hispanic, Arab, or white, make another think piece about what black people should be doing, how black people should be standing up for themselves, and what we should support. Especially when most of your ideology is based and rooted in anti-blackness.
Kamala was not saving anybody. You have no reason to feel betrayed for nobody voting for Kamala. Nobody owed you a vote for Kamala. You do not get to disengage from politics or support the deportation of Hispanic people or the colonization of Palestine because Kamala lost. Glad she lost. I'm happy she lost. I hope the Democrats never win again. If you were having conversations about whether or not the Palestinians are prejudiced and expecting perfect victims during an act of genocide, you are not helping. You are the problem. If you are more worried about Palestinian prejudice than the G slide, your priorities are wrong. Likewise, something doesn't have to affect you personally for you to care about it. You believe in self-isolating your community based on these identities and instead only looking out for quote-unquote yourself.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. I knew the left was crazy when they said that Beyonce was a propagandist and that Southern black culture from Texas was nationalistic instead of it being Southern black culture from Texas. But now you're saying that black people should not care about the issues that pertain to black people in the country that they have to live and survive and navigate because there's issues happening around the world. I'm really tired of everyone asking and looking to black Americans to be and take the moral high ground when it comes to inclusivity and support. You're saying you don't have to experience something for you to support it, and that you can't walk away and sit down with a deportation and all these things. We live in America where, yes, both Arab and Hispanic people live juxtaposed to us. And who did they vote for? They voted against their own self-best interest and against black people and against women. This is why the left argument makes no sense. It's all black or white for you people, where there's an internal space for nuance when it comes to people's identities and why identities matter. You go ahead and you say solidarity should not be conditional and should not be transactional when you're literally hoping for transactional support from black people to the rest of the world. And even if everything you're saying about Kamala Harris is true, first of all, say her name correctly. Second of all, America does not change from regime change to regime change. The support that it's giving its people in the Middle East will not waver, and it hasn't wavered. To the contrary, did we not see a rendering of a resort town that they're planning on building over there in the extended version of that new country from our president and their president? So why could you be talking about Kamala Harris? How does that even make sense? So the fact that you want us to not care about everything that's happening to women's reproductive rights, women's rights, black rights, civil rights in this country because of what's going on in a land 5,000 miles away is asinine and is crazy. Y'all have lost your minds on this app. I said yesterday I need to take a break from all these conversations. But every time I open my app, people are attacking black people just for existing. It's like you're attacking me for being born and having a voice and caring about what me and my people go through before anywhere else. You can't take care of anywhere if you can't live and exist in your home. Have a nice day.
A struggle that's never going to get the recognition it deserves is simply being a black man in America. And it's not going to get the recognition it deserves because realistically, no one gives a fuck. And this is only coming from the perspective of a black man, so don't try to relate if you're not one. Black men, when we leave the house, we have to worry about not only getting shot down by the crazy ass shit that happens in America already, we got to worry about racial profiling. If we're in an altercation, we're automatically assumed to be the aggressor. We got to worry about getting shot by the police. We got to worry about getting shot by other black men. We're sexualized by women of other races, and we're demonized by women of our own race. Being a black man in America, you really can't even express yourself how you want to without being labeled like, ooh, look, black nail paint. Now someone's going to assume I'm gay. Like, whole time my girl did this. Like, what? Point is, it's a struggle, but hey, some of us wear it well. I'm one of them. So
being black in Florida is a roller coaster ride that I wish I could get off of. In addition to anti-blackness from white people, which I've come to expect, Hispanic people, which I don't understand, and black people, there are no safe spaces. I live in a guard-gated community. 24 hours a day, there's supposed to be a guard there controlling access to the community through the non-resident side. All of these individuals are black. I came into the neighborhood at 2 a.m. Monday morning, and the guardhouse was completely abandoned. There was no one there. Both gates were wide open, and I didn't think anything of it because the gate is nothing that gives me any sense of security whatsoever. That's the type of thing I let my neighbors complain about. But on that day, when I came back, the guard was there, but the resident side seemed to be having some sort of a malfunction. There was a car in front of me, and she was repositioning herself, trying to get her transponder to work. And then eventually the guard pressed a button, opened the arm, and that person was allowed to enter into the neighborhood. When it was my turn to come into the neighborhood, I kind of crept up because I assumed that there was something going on with the transponders. That's nothing new. It has happened before, but my transponder has always worked. So I get close to the gate. It doesn't open for me either. I back up, I reposition myself. I do what I can do with the space that I have, but it's becoming clear that the gate is not working. The guard yells at me and tells me that I need to back up and figure out a way to come in through the non-resident side. And I said, no, I'm a resident. Not only was the non-resident side backed up, but you just let someone in front of me. So she goes, well, I don't know if you live here. And I said, I'm telling you I live here. And she said, well, I'm not letting you in. I rolled up my window because, baby, you don't know about me. I just came from Chick-fil-A. I have a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. I have my orange juice. I rolled up my window, turned on my music, put my strawberry jelly on my sandwich, and ate my sandwich in peace. Because if you think I'm going to let you, a non-resident, check me, a resident, in my neighborhood where I pay HOA assessments, you must have lost your cotton-picking mind.
And, you know, they really thought that we was going to protest. They really thought that we was going to protest. Because if we protested, right, for all the things that happened to us, all of the things that's been happening this year, them twins that got killed, that student that got lynched, all the things that have been happening to us, we stayed calm. We've been just like, nope, we're not going to do it. We know what they're doing. We're not going to do it, right? Us protesting, it's not just because we're not out in the streets. It's also because it makes white people who are also being affected by this system understand how bad it is for them. Because when we go out and protest, it lulls white people into a sense of false security that it's only happening to black people. That's why you see things like, oh, black women are the ones who are getting laid off. So it makes them feel like they're secure in their job because it's actually black women that it's happening to. It's not going to happen to me. It's happening to black women. They did the same thing during COVID. Like, you know, oh, black people are disproportionately affected by COVID. We're dying in disproportionate numbers. I don't be believing none of this stuff that they talking about. I think that they put those stories out there so that white people will feel like they're secure, like they're okay. Everything's okay with me because actually it's minorities that are suffering. I'm not suffering. But when black people didn't go out there and protest, then it became, oh, hold on. Maybe I'm suffering too. Maybe if black people ain't suffering, who's suffering? Because it's getting rough out here. So if they're not going out there, then I can't dissuade myself. I can't lull myself into a false sense of security into thinking that nothing's happening to me. That I might be the lowest on the totem pole if black people are not protesting. Somebody's got to do it. And that's exactly what happened. When black people go out and protest, white folks feel like they don't have to. They don't have to. It's not happening to them. But since black people didn't go out and protest, they was like, shit, this shit might be happening to me. It ain't happening to them, but it's happening. So who's it happening to? Yep. And that is what happened. And that's why they went all the way down to taking away food stamps. Because they know who's going to hurt the most. It's going to hurt elderly white folks the most. And poor white people. That's who's going to hurt the most. And I'll tell you why. Anytime I needed food stamps, I didn't get them. And you know why? Because I can't trust the government. I can't trust them. I cannot depend on them. Because they can pull out the rug from under you at any time. Just like they doing right now. I knew not to trust them. So I never got food stamps. Even when I needed them. I just said, whatever, we'll figure it out. And always did. because they do exactly what they're doing right now is exactly what I knew they was going to do. And a lot of black people do too. We knew we couldn't trust them. We can't trust them. The government? Are you serious? So, yep. It's gonna get rough out here.
When I tell you the healthcare system, when it comes to African American females, my experience, fuck everything else, I don't care about nobody else, my experience, it's horrible. It's horrible. It took me, I don't even want to go in detail, but when I tell you, you have to advocate for yourself or someone else in your family when you are African American, to ensure that he or she receives the medical care that they need. This shit is ridiculous. They thought they were talking to the average, and no disrespect, Joe Blow. Okay, they thought they was gonna come into the room, give me a 2-second spiel, maybe really at minimum, maximum, a minute regarding a loved one in the hospital who's been in the hospital for a while, y'all. These fucking doctors do not care. And if you don't know the questions to ask to put them on the spot or require them to, no, you stand here to make sure, one, you relay the information that you need to relay to the patient and that the patient understand. Okay, if the patient doesn't understand, the doctor should not leave that freaking room. It is not my responsibility, although I'm understanding and I can break it down to her to the person in a language that they may understand. It is not my responsibility. You as a medical professional, regardless of whether or not it's your practice or you are contracted, should stay in the room until your patient understands the information you have communicated. Advocating for yourself as an African American woman or a male, as an African American person who is being treated in a medical stance, the way we are treated is ridiculous. It should not take me to tell you, no, you need to stand here to do XYZ. It should not take me to drop. I'm a lawyer, okay? So I shouldn't have to do that. Advocating, I don't understand the medical profession, and I'm still trying to understand it. You guys, I'm just really trying to understand it all. I am furious. You hear me? Furious.
Say that again.
I'm just gonna rant on here for a minute. It is so hard being black. Especially dark skinned in society right now. And it's absolutely crazy because it don't even be white people. It don't be Hispanic people. It don't be Asian people. It will be your own people who will call you dark. It will be the people who have the same skin complexion as you calling you a black bitch. A black dark bitch. A black dark bitch that doesn't deserve to live. Like, I don't understand. It doesn't commute. Okay, story time. I was in math class, minding my own business on my iPad, okay? I wasn't doing my work, but that's not the point. I was just watching YouTube, okay? Like a little iPad kid, okay? Tell me why I all of a sudden hear someone being like, damn, she dark. What? I look up, and it's someone who's literally right in front of me. It's a black, dark-skinned man calling me dark as fuck.
You can raise a child to value $1 without making them struggle for it.
Whatever, using our fucking vocabulary.
Elaborate.
Struggle, adversity, whatever, trials and tribulations, whatever the fuck you want to use. Long story short, I'm not rolling the red carpet for you. So whatever word you want to use to describe that, whatever. All I'm saying is, as a parent, I'm not rolling the red carpet for you. I don't give a fuck how much
you be one of those parents that I went through it, so you got to go through it too. That's the kind of parent you're gonna.
Nursing home. There's a lot of black people like him, men and women, walking around setting their children up for failure. They shouldn't have been having kids because they were selfish. And they shouldn't have children. But they will make children because they can't stop fucking and then send those children out, raising them like this. And now our children have to suffer being around their children. They're insufferable, broke, miserable children. I joke with my friend all the time because her kids, her oldest two are in the military. One is in the Navy, one is a Marine. Her son dropped out of college to go to the Marine Corps because the college wasn't for him. He wasn't going to, mind you, that college is paid for. Mind you, her and her husband, they were both Marines. Of course, me and my wife, she in the Navy, I was a Marine. And I joke with her and I'm like, man, your kids just cosplaying military couple because mind you, they well off. Husband retired, 100% disability. Dude work at this company making plenty of money working from home. She a GS-12, so, and she got 100% disability. They very well off, like bougie blacks. But I always joke with her. I'd be like, man, your kids over there fake military. They over there cosplaying. They ain't got to be there. They over there just big ass smile on their face. Just, oh, I'm just having fun. But I told her husband, I said, bro, I fuck with him or whatever. But I said, it's crazy that, it's a difference to see, like, we had to join the military to, get out of our situations. We had to make some shit happen, in spite of, you feel me? I said, but it's good to see your children. That was a choice. Like, they chose because they wanted to, and they're enjoying it because they don't have to be there. They want to be there, and they know they can always come back home when shit get rough. His daughter literally don't pay for nothing. He still pay for her car insurance, her phone bill. He'll still send her fucking money. He had the credit card she uses, he pays it all. Same thing with his son. He came back for 4th of July, so he been in the fleet for about a year, a little change now. I said, how you like the Marine Corps? That boy had a big ass smile. He said, I love it. I said, oh. But it's different when you still have support coming from home. When you come home, your daddy still give you money when you go out. Don't worry about it, son. When they still, take care of you. And I told him, I said, bro, but you know what? That's how it's supposed to be. We had to go do what we had to do. We had to sacrifice and do so they don't have to. And that's how you get ahead. See, but when you selfish like people like in this video, how like a lot of our parents were, that's what happens. That I struggle, so you gotta struggle, that come from a place of selfishness. That come from a place of jealousy because you supposed to want better for your kids if you got it. See, but a lot of our parents didn't have it. They was broke. I mean, not mine, but, people who have this mentality. So even if they had it, they couldn't give it to you. And a lot of y'all parents don't want y'all to be better than them. That's why you'll get those mothers that'll sabotage their daughters' relationships with a good man. Put them little niblets in her ear and then, fuck it all up. Them daddies that'll make their sons go out there and get it on his own. You got to get out of my house at 18 years old because it's going to make you a better man. Then on the back end, when you actually turn out to be solid, they'll be like, yeah, I knew you was going to be. Nigga, it was in spite of what you did. Not because you threw me out there to the wolves. Because it didn't have to be that way. But while you over there making your kids struggle, my kids good. Because when my kids in college and all they got to worry about is college, your kids going to be sitting next to them like, must be nice.
Being a black girl who works out is literally such a struggle because why do I have to always do safe hairstyles for the sake of getting a body that's T? Like, I be seeing y'all with y'all cute sewings, y'all quick weaves on here, the nice voluminous bouncy Detroit curls, the cash dog curls, all of it, but it's like, here I am with a braid. And it's like, it's cute, but it's like, come on. It's like, I always, because I sweat a lot and I work out a lot, like, I work out like 6 days a week, so I can't sit here and go and get some quick weaves and waste my money because I'm gonna sweat it out in 2.5 business days. So I gotta go the safe route, either slick backs, ponytails, braids, curly hair, and it's like the curly flip overs, they be eating, but you still gotta put heat on that bitch. Where's the accommodations? I'm all slick backed out. I can't. My front pieces of hair at this point, they're naturally bone straight. I can't do it no more. I don't even have heat damage. I have slick back damage. What is that? I'm tired. And I don't want to go back to wigs because that damaged my hairline. The combs and all that sucked. I just sometimes wish I wasn't into fitness because I could just be a cute tea girly. But then it's like the body matters more to me than the hair. So then it's like, ugh.
Your
being insultive, and I think that's unfair.
Same rules is for everybody.
I didn't do nothing to you.
There is a sign somewhere.
My volume, you said.
You put the volume down.
You said my volume was loud. I said I'm sorry. Brought it down,
Yeah, but
and you
then
start
you
talking
need to
about
put
you
it down.
people.
It doesn't.
Why should I
it's
turn?
not
Why should I
enough
turn
you
off
say.
my phone for you?
It's not enough if you say.
It's
I'm
rude.
sorry.
It's
you
rude.
don't
No,
put
no,
it
no, 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 no.
down.
It's rude if you talk
Yes,
to me and be
yes,
like,
yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yes.
you people.
Yes,
That's
yes, yes.
rude.
Yes, yes.
Don't do that to me. I don't
do
know
that
you.
To me. Don't you do that to me.
I don't know you there.
I don't know you.
That's rude.
It doesn't. That's not the question. The question is the rules is for everybody.
My volume wasn't even
Same
loud.
rules for everybody.
I don't gotta turn off my phone for you. I'm sorry. Did you hear
No,
anything from my phone?
you don't need to. Close your phone, but put the volume down. That's the only question.
She's being racist right now.
Every
You
time the
people.
same thing. If you say something, it's for hours.
Are you okay?
Can you stop it?
Did somebody hurt you?
Can you stop it? Yeah, you people do that.
Who is
every
you
day.
people?
Every day I need to say the same thing.
Lady,
It's
if you
always-
have a problem with my skin, you can use the next
No,
stop.
I don't have a problem.
Then stop treating me like I'm not a person.
quiet.
No, I will not be quiet.
I mean,
You're not
listen.
gonna bully me into silence, ma'am.
No.
I have rights to be here.
Can you listen to me?
No, I won't. You listen. You've been very
Put your
rude.
finger
You
down.
have to stop it.
They hung her by her feet from a tree after beating her. They set her on fire, and she was pregnant, so they cut her stomach open. And when the baby fell, the unborn baby fell, they stomped on it. They stomped on it. Then they riddled her body with 60 bullets. After all that, they left her there to die, and her name is Mary Turner. She was a 21-year-old black woman, married to Hayes Turner. And the reason this happened to her is because a white plantation owner who was known for brutalizing his slaves, this is 1918, by the way. Slavery was supposed to be emancipated in 1865. But anyway, a white slave owner was killed by his enslaved African for being brutal. When word got out that he had died, a large mob of white men and women went around killing 13 black women and children and men all over Valdosta, Georgia. Hayes Turner, who was Mary's husband, had nothing to do with the killing of Mr. Smith, but the mob lynched him anyway. One of the 13 victims was riddled with 120 bullets while hanging from a tree. Now, like I said, Mary's husband, Hayes Turner, was lynched. Mary found out about this, and she knew the names of everyone that was involved, and she decided to expose it and tell the world, hey, my husband and these 13 victims need justice. The mob did not like that at all. And if you don't know, it's 1918. You know that the white community would have done tremendously worse for less. So imagine how they felt when they were exposed. That is when they dragged her to the middle of Valdosta, Georgia, to Little River, beat her, strung her up by her feet upside down, set her on fire, cut her stomach open, stomped on her baby, and shot her over 60 times. She was 21 years old. I'm 25. My little sister's 21. It's kind of crazy. Did you know about this? They hung her.
Do you ever stop and think about how life as a black woman in America requires disassociation? Like, we are so routinely faced with microaggressions and overt racism that you don't have a choice but to not react to it and essentially not feel it in the moment. Because if you were to feel all of it every time it happened, crash outs would be on the regular, your sanity would escape you, and prison would await you. Anyone else? No? Just me?
Sometimes it's really frustrating being black from Southern California, being black from Los Angeles, because you hear the most ridiculous things about being black in LA from people who never grew up being black in Southern California for real. Like, people will say things like, it's in LA, it's easy to forget you're black, when they live in Brentwood. You move to Brentwood. You live in Brentwood. Yeah, you're gonna forget you're black. I don't have to tell you, you live in Brentwood. You live in Brentwood. Because, like, as a black person who is from Southern California, I've lived all around this bitch. I've lived all around Southern California. You can never forget you're black. You can never forget you're black. These people will never let you forget you're black. They will never let you forget you're black. Ever. But if you live in Brentwood, maybe you can forget. I don't fucking know, but as someone who's from here, you can't forget. It's a crazy take.
If black kids are angry, it's because we poison their brains. Literally. Oh, you think black people are more violent? It's so weird how that happened right after we poisoned all their neighborhoods with lead. Fucking crazy. Oh, and this is not any conspiracy theory or anything like that. This is well-documented U.S. history. And if nobody taught you this, it's probably because they didn't want you to know. So yeah, welcome to my latest rabbit hole. So let's start off with the science behind lead. Lead exposure is like one of the worst things that you can do to a developing child's brain. It causes permanent damage to the part of the brain that deals with judgment and impulse control. It reduces IQ, and it increases aggression and risk-taking. This is proven. It causes learning disabilities, attention issues, and behavioral disorders. And it raises the chance of arrest, school expulsion, and unemployment later in life. And for most of the 20th century, poor black communities were deliberately soaked with this shit. Their homes, their pipes, their air, their soil, you name it, fucking lead. So wait a minute, if lead was so dangerous, why are we using it? And you guessed it, money. Tails on the time, baby. Lead in the paint made it dry faster, it stuck better to surfaces, it resisted moisture and peeling, and it just looked like shinier and more vibrant, you know? And this was great for landlords and government-assisted housing, you know, the places that are trying to cut costs and shit. Perfect for them. Oh, but we also put it in gasoline too, but we made a new name for it though, so it sounds a little bit better. They called it tetraethyl lead, which this ended up making cars run better. You didn't have the knocking from engines, and it allowed manufacturers like GM to make their high performance cars. So win-win, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, even though all the factory workers in the GM plants and the DuPont plants and stuff like that started hallucinating and seeing bugs, like they literally called it the house of butterflies because people were seeing bugs and swatting up. But yeah, even though all of this shit was actively happening, they were like, I think we're safe. Honestly, I think we're good. But they also put lead in all the pipes and stuff. So all your water's coming to your house, whatever, it's going through lead because lead was cheaper. It was easier to bend, you know, just, it's better, you know? But like, here's the thing. If we knew lead was bad, like we wouldn't have known this and still pushed it, right? Try again. Ready for this little timeline? In 1904, Australian doctors warned that lead paint killed children. France and Australia said, oh God, terrifying, ban it. The US said, I'll be all right. In 1992, the League of Nations recommended a global ban on lead paint. They said, this shit's bad. Nobody should be using this. And the US said, I'd rather not. Oh, and you can thank Sherwin-Williams for that and the Lead Industries Association, which was lobbying Congress. So round of applause, Sherwin-Williams, thank you so much. Oh, but then we got in 1924 when the workers at Standard Oil's New Jersey refinery died in mass. But they were hysterical. That was workers' hysteria. That was not lead, baby. So like, we're fine. Oh, and then in 1943, they had US studies that showed low-level exposure lowered your IQ. But still we were like, let's just bury those. Like, nobody needs to see those, okay? And then in 1971, the CDC created a safe threshold, but they put it like really fucking high. They're like, this is safe, like, I guess. We'll be fine. Stop complaining. You have your freedom. Shut up, you know? Oh, but of course, with this law, there was no enforcement in black communities because why would we do that? What? And then in 1978, the US finally banned residential paint, but that was only for new construction. And there was no requirement of cleaning up the old lead paint. So, you know, the projects, the government housing, all those places where you pushed all those poor people into, yeah, we're not going back there. But the new homes, the rich people, we good. We Gucci, baby.
So family, black people needs to be respected, okay? You don't just love their culture and hate the people that owns the culture, okay? You don't just love America and hate the people who owns America. All right, so thank you so much for watching, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you find it very interesting, of course, and don't forget to support the channel by subscribing to the channel. See you guys in my next video, family. Bye.